welcome to another Circle of Light Movement Live. I'm Lucy Brand.
Hi there, and I'm Natasha Harris. Welcome. We're delighted to be here for another Friday Live, talking this week about integrating the spiritual and the physical and why it is so important. So I'm just going to pop on and just share this to a few different pages. Lucy will introduce it and I'll be back with you in just one sec.
Yeah, so we're really excited to talk about this. This has come up a lot in my work this week, and it's really important. And I think it's a point that a lot of people miss because they might focus more on the spiritual side of stuff, or they might focus more on the body stuff. And so we're going to share with you how to integrate the two. We're going to give you lots of tips as well, and we're going to talk to you about the importance of doing the work in both areas, if you like, both in the spiritual and in the physical. And when I'm talking about spiritual as well, I think we're kind of including energy in that, because you can't see the energy, but we know it's there, if you see what I mean, because we're all energetic beings. Yeah. If you are joining us live, then please say hello. We love interacting. And if you have any questions, then please let us know in the comments down below. And if you're watching replay, then hashtag replay. And if you have any questions again, then we will come back and answer them. And also let us know where you're watching from, because we always love that. We love to see where everyone is in the world right now.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, let us know. I can see a couple of people just jumping on here. Yeah, this is a really exciting topic. And as Lucy said, you know, there is no getting away of looking at us as whole holistic beings. There is nowhere we are going in order to only work on the spiritual. We must get more spiritual. We must get more in line with the higher spirits and aligned with universe. And we forget about ourselves in all of that and what's going on a physical level. This is where we manifest here on earth, in the third dimension, in this reality. So we have to remember to look out for what's going on here. And it's about bringing those two things together. You know, one of the old philosophies says, you know, we are not climbing the mountain to get on top of the mountain and sit there and wait for it all to happen. We are looking to be the whole mountain. That means really grounded and rooted in the physical aspects of everyday living, but also beautifully and harmoniously and in an aligned way connected to spirit and the universe and our higher selves. Hey, Michelle.
Yeah, hi, Michelle. Thank you for joining us live. I'm just going to... Oh, yeah, perfect. Hi, Michelle. Thank you so much for joining us live. And yes, if you are joining us live, then please, I see there's more people hopping on, which is amazing. Yay. So obviously an interesting topic today. So please let us know where you're calling from, where you're watching us from, because we love to know. And so, yes, I really want to speak into today about the humanness, doing the healing of the humanness. So what I find tends to happen, especially with a lot of people in the spiritual community, is that they do a lot of connecting with source, connecting with their guides, connecting with their angels, but they're avoiding, or they have been avoiding, doing the physical human work, the healing work on the human body, it normally is, or the human mind. But even if we look at it like that with the spiritual, I always think if you look at the chakras, the ones up here are the ones that connect you to source. So your crown chakra, your third eye is for visioning in and bringing stuff in. And the throat chakra, it's all more connected to source. And actually, I believe that we have infinite chakras that go from our crown chakra all the way to the universe to plug us into universe source. And then the same going the other way from the root chakra all the way down into Mother Earth, Gaia. So we're constantly connected. And actually, when you connect with Gaia rooting Mother Earth in this 3D reality, and then also source the universe, you can never feel alone and you always feel supported because you're supported by those energies. But what tends to happen is that when we're not seeing the results we want, so perhaps you've meditated, you've got clear on what you want, you're connected with source, you're connected with your guides and your angels, but it's not manifesting, it's because there's a human block getting in the way. So what I mean by that is you've had a human experience, and this is where it can be this lifetime, or it can be previous lifetimes or future lifetimes, because time doesn't exist. So You have a human block, which is stopping you from moving forward. And that could be a mindset thing, that could be an energetic block, or that could be a emotional block.
Yeah.
And so the healing needs to be done on that human level, because also the more you heal on the human level but stay connected to source, the more you can manifest like that, the more you can move forward, and the more you will enjoy this life. And the point is that we're supposed to be enjoying this human experience.
Oh gosh.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas
Like,
if
we're here to have fun, to have be
yeah,
easy, to play, to like, as Lucy and I always say, like, come join us to dance in the light, because that's what it's all about. You know, we're here to have huge amounts of fun while creating our own experience. Now, yes, that does mean that we're still in the human experience and challenge may come up, but when we are spiritually aligned and aligned from a human perspective, a physical perspective, then we can create huge difference in our manifesting power. And that's where we are looking at ourselves as a whole. It's a completely different way of being. And Lucy and I, you know, it is about having fun. It's about enjoying the journey, and really leaning into that.
exactly. And I think also with the spiritual, if you're just focusing on the spiritual, that can mean that you check out. And then when you check out, you're not living in this life. And so even if it is, and believe me, we have done the work. I've been to some really dark, really horrible places in my own healing journey. It's been tough. But once I've shined a light on those areas, they no longer have a hold over me in my human existence. And that's when everything can unfold beautifully, and you get to enjoy your experience here on earth, but also hear source clearer, because there's no human experiences getting in the way, if that makes sense. You become a stronger conduit for source as well, the angels, so you can hear them more. You get more nudges, your intuition kicks in more, because there's not any resistance, because you've done the work on a human level. I hope that makes sense. So please, like, let us know in the comments if what I've said has made sense, or if you need anything clarifying, then please let me know. Lisa said, true sister. Thank you. I love that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let us know if you've got any questions. You know, we want to embrace all of ourselves. And, you know, Lucy's already mentioned, you know, there are so many spiritual teachings where we're trying to get away from the human experience. We're trying to deny it. We're trying to find the answers within the spiritual, but the answers don't really come in the spiritual until we've actually married it all together and we are fully aligned as whole holistic beings. We are the ego, we are individual beings, but we are all oneness as well. And we have to look at ourselves from all of those perspectives. And, you know, in terms of having fun and being playful, it's not about trying to disappear somewhere. That's spiritual escapism. That really is spiritual escapism. And I get quite upset about people that are teaching that kind of methods. It's like, oh, it's all out there. It's all over there. Like, if you do this, then you'll get it because you've been really good. We have to embody that in alignment within us. We have to vibrate at the frequency of what we want to create. And that's when it comes to us. And we need to get real clarity about where it is we want to go so that we can take action that is aligned to that. We don't get to bypass action. We have to take action that's aligned. Like, lots of us are out there busy. It's like, oh, I'm doing some action over here, some action over here, over there, everywhere, because we've been taught that the only way to get success is being busy. Well, that, quite frankly, is BS. It's like, how do you have a more joyful, playful, loving, fun experience while creating? But you need to have that clarity of where you're going, so your action is directly aligned to where you want to go. So I hope that makes sense as well. Sorry, I went on a rant there.
No, I love it. And just to speak into a little part of that as well, because you see, it's all connected. That's what I think, fundamentally, that's what I'm trying to say, is that it's all connected. So when you don't do the human healing work on the body level or the energetic or the trapped emotions level, what can then happen is, if your desires or what you're trying to manifest they're all here floating around on the frequency of love, bliss, or above. But then if you're really checking out and not enjoying your human experience, and you haven't done the healing work, so you're down here in guilt and shame, it's a massive mismatch. It's not going to happen. Like, it's going to be really hard work, which is resistance already just in saying that, to manifest those things that you desire. Whereas if you do the human, and again, it's on the spiritual level, like everything you desire already exists. It's just on a different frequency to you. I remember when I got this a few years ago, and I was like, oh, like
the big slap in the face, isn't it? It's like, oh, that stuff I want, it already exists.
Yeah.
We just have to come into alignment with it, and then it happens, and you're like, oh, okay. And then as you start taking the action, as you start doing it, and this is certainly my experience, it's like, oh, wow, here it's coming. It's like, I'm a vibrational match to what I want to receive. And oh my gosh, it's coming.
Exactly. But to get there, so you've already got the spiritual bit down, if you see what I mean. You've visioned it, you're feeling it, maybe you're like, yes, I know what I want. And a lot of people don't actually know what they want, so you're already ahead of the game. But then if your body is weighed down with these experiences and trauma, and when I say trauma, it could be anything. Perhaps you were bullied at school, perhaps even like an old work colleague said something to you once that your conscious mind, you think you've forgotten, but in your subconscious, you've stored it. Like, it could be any of these things which are blocking you from calling in the life, the career, the business, whatever it is you desire. The love, yeah, sorry. Like the love, the hot lover, of course. When you work on the body, you release these trapped emotions, you reframe your mindset, and that's when your vibration, your frequency increases, and that's when you start hanging around where all your desires are. And that's the importance, because then when you're on the same frequency, as Natasha said, inspired action, because you're connected, inspired action, which will bring them into this 3D reality, because you're not just checking out and you're not just doing the spiritual, like you're manifesting here, and which is what you want. You want the money in your bank account or the hot lover in your bed, you don't
want to just dream it.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's so true. I love our conversations. We always have a giggle, and this is what it's always about. But that's where the real magic happens. It's not out there. If you hang out in the spiritual, you meditate all day. Yes, meditation gets us aligned, gets us opening channels to being that conduit, but we don't want to hang out there all the time. We want to take action, and inspired action and aligned action in what we're doing. And when we really, really get that piece of how to integrate and bring in all of ourselves into alignment. Now, whether or not we're ever consistently and 100% in alignment, I don't know. We will navigate around that somewhat, because we are still human, and challenges like this last year arise, but we have a better understanding and resources and energy to navigate those challenges when they show up. And that is the real difference. That is what I found as I've integrated all parts of me. I have resources and understanding from a spiritual perspective and a body perspective on how to navigate them in a very, very different way. And that's how we truly take responsibility for ourselves. We are responsible for us. Universe, magic doesn't happen to us. We create it. That is what the definition of true responsibility is you are creating absolutely everything in your life, and you get to master you on a spiritual level and on a physical level. And that's where you master responsibility and manifestation.
And to speak into a bit more of that as well, responsibility, I love that. Like, taking responsibility for your mindset, for your emotions, and your spiritual practice. When you do that, it's game changing. It's absolutely game changing, because it empowers you on so many different levels, so many different frequencies, if you like, rather than slipping into victim, slipping into blame, and all those lower vibrational emotions. Like, and once you do take responsibility, that's when the clarity comes. And that's when, for me, it's like, oh, I can do this. I've got this, because you can create a plan to move forward and create the life that you do want, whatever you are calling in.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have to take action. There is really, I mean, I think we've talked about that already, but there is no getting around that. You have to take action, and it's not about being busy, and it's not about doing more. It's actually about doing less, but doing the less of what you love to do, that gives you joy, that gives you peace, that gives you ease, flow, grace, and real fun in creating. And that's something we navigate, because each of us, that is going to be hugely and wildly different. There is no fixed roadmap that will fit everyone. We have to get to figure us each out ourselves.
Exactly. And it is that we're human beings for a reason. It's all about being. It's not about doing. Like, there is taking the inspired action, which again, you do need the physical plan of the action, but then also be open to your intuition and source, like dropping in things, but just being, like the center of being, and then checking in with yourself, being present with yourself. So it's really important. And I think this is a little thing people don't really talk about, but before you go, and I know Natasha and I do a lot, but like before you write your newsletter, before you take action and have a conversation with someone or something like that, the best thing you can do so that it goes in a really good flow way that you want it to is check in with yourself and see where you're coming from. Because if you're coming from a place where, oh, I just can't be bothered to do it, I don't really want to do it, it's another task on my to-do list, it's not going to have the impact you want. Whereas if you come from an energy of openness and curiousness and love, then that even like I can feel the physical change in my body from just saying those different words. Like, when you come from that area, it's a game changer again. Like, especially even just things that you think might not even be that important. If you start doing that slowly with loads of things and then get to the more important, again, it's a game changer, absolute game changer, because it's about energy.
Yeah, absolutely. And just before we came on this live, you know, this is just a real small example. Lucy and I have been doing this every week for, I don't know, quite a number of weeks. And just before we went live today, there was something happened. I can't even remember what it was. We just burst into giggles, and we thought, and I realized that every time that we come on live, there is something that makes us both giggle before we press that live button. And that is the energy with which we're showing up. It is genuine. We genuinely, like, this is us, you know, how we show up, how we work together, how we do everything together. And we've kind of like speak to each other and talk to each other, and like, what's the energy we're showing up in? Like, how do we shift that energy so that what we're creating, because we're going to tell you about what we're creating in just a moment, but like everything we're creating is done from a place of this energy, which feels easy, feels, you know, yes, challenges come up. We're like, not sure how to do things. We have to go away and research it. But like, it comes from a place of real joy. And wherever you're doing in your life, be that through work, relationships, your health and well-being, it's like, how do you make a start in creating that change for yourself with that energy in mind? Because if you say, well, if I keep doing this and this and this and this, and then I'll feel happier, then I'll feel more peace, then I'll feel healthier, it's just going to be effort all the way, and you won't be able to shift that energy. So I hope that makes sense too. You want to start with the end in mind.
Exactly. And it's about playfulness. That's all I could think about with that word. That's one of my words this year. Playfulness. It's just injecting that playfulness in, even if it's in a task that you don't want to do. I'll share this. I used to hate hanging the washing out. Like, I really hated it. I left it to my husband all the time because I just hated doing it. But then I don't know what's happened now since we've moved. I find I love doing it. It's like a mindfulness practice for me now. And it's just something that I used to hate. I'm actually really enjoying just that 5 minutes of just focusing on something that might be mundane. But it's like, if you do that, or you do the washing up, it really allows you to kind of just clear your head almost, so that you can expand and allow your intuition and your imagination and the ideas to flow in. You don't necessarily have to be sitting there in silence meditating for 20 minutes. You can actually introduce it into your day and still be connected to source, even with something as menial as like hanging out the washing.
Absolutely. And that's such an important point, Lucy, because it's like if we are going through our day-to-day physical experience going, I can't wait just to get into meditation. I can't go and wait to hang out with my tribe that are just my high vibing tribe and that will let me just, be in that space. But everything you do in between, and that's all you're hanging out for, you are not integrating your physical experience with your whole experience. And so really noticing, where are you showing up day to day going, oh, this is mundane, this is boring, and start tweaking things. And how can you show up differently to something as simple as hanging out the washing? I'm going to try that next time, Lucy. Thanks for that too.
It's indoors as well. It's not even on the washing line.
But yeah, it's like, if you are showing up to everything day to day, or most things, predominant things, think about the energy that you are giving to things the most. And if that is your day-to-day task of drudgery, effort, hard work, busy, everyone else demanding things from me, everyone's taking stuff from me, I have to look after everyone else. If that's the energy you're predominantly showing up and waiting to go into escapism, there is a huge mismatch and a real challenge to creating. So I hope that makes sense too.
Yeah, and I also just want to add to that, it can be really fun as well, especially like here in the UK, well, in England. I'm not sure about Scotland and Wales, so there's different rules, but here in England, we're in another lockdown. And so the importance of finding peace and joy in these menial tasks, I think, is even more important now. And so, and I find it it's like, how can I make this joyful? How can I make this fun? I mean, it's even like listening to a podcast or something. If you really don't enjoy it, it's just like, but what works for you? What works for you?
Yeah.
Oh, so I think, it's time. Shall we share? Like, I'm super excited.
Yeah, let's share. So Lucy and I have been hatching something in the background. We launched our spiritual mastermind last year, which was amazing, and the phenomenal changes that happened for that group was incredible. Lucy and I also learned so much, and we up leveled along with those powerful women. And really now what we've been discussing is like, how can we create this movement? We've called ourselves the Circle of Light movement. What does that look like? How do we reach the masses? How do we support people through a huge shift and a real transition and change into the new paradigm, so that you can create that for yourself and like evolve with the new paradigm, evolve into this new space of being? And so we are launching our membership. Yeah. We are going to be launching a monthly membership where you can join Lucy and I, hang out with us, hang out in our high vibes, hang out in the high vibes of other beautiful, amazing souls that want to do this work and create this shift. We will show you the how-tos in this. We will be doing loads and loads of stuff in these monthly masterminds. We will have themes every month. We will be showing you how to do things. You will be getting the support of your community. It's going to be so exciting. And we are going to be launching that on the 12th of April, which is the new moon in Aries. I'm going to let Lucy just explain a little bit about that, because she's the moon queen.
Yeah, we are super excited about this. It's just happened naturally and organically from the mastermind, because we were really tuning into what is it that people need. And it's really a sacred space. This is what we're hearing at the moment, is a sacred space, ongoing support, but where people can dip in and out. So the last thing we want to do is add to your to-do list. The last thing we want to do is overwhelm you, but we want you to know that we're here with you. We're going on this journey with you. We're here to support you. So you'll have access to us. And then also we'll be doing things like live channeling, live clearings as well, to really support you in your transition on a bodily level and on a spiritual level. To move forward and create the life business or career that you desire. So yeah, we are starting. It's going to open on the new moon in Aries, which is the first sign of the zodiac. So it's perfect. And Aries is all about taking action. Yeah, exactly. It's ruled by the planet Mars, which is all about taking action. And it's also the masculine as well, taking action, the masculine. So is a new moon represent new beginnings, and we want this to be a fresh start. And April to me is always like, well, traditionally it's Easter in April as well, so that's all about rebirth and Easter bunnies and things like that, but it's all about a fresh new energy, bringing this fresh new energy. So maybe this could be perfect for you if like January's been a bit tough, and you know, I know that has been for a lot of people out there, and last year's a bit tough. Then come and join us. Come and join us in the membership. Come and hang out with us, some high vibes. We'll be sharing all our knowledge, all our tips, all our intuitive hits as well. So all of our guidance from source, our guides. So Natasha with the Akashic Records and the Palladians, I think, have come into play a bit more recently. And for myself, it's the Arcturians and Source and angels, and I have a whole menagerie.
Yes, and the beautiful light language. So yeah, I mean, it's so exciting, and we are going to be doing this at a no-brainer price to start with. So if this is of interest, we're going to be doing the back end in the next week or so you can actually join, take action and get started already before April. And yeah, so if you are interested in that, then come and join our mailing list. The link is in the post. Lucy can pop it up on the screen perhaps. Yes. And then, yeah, so come and join us. Let us know you're interested. Get in touch. Type us, PM us, send us a message. We love getting some love notes and information and little touch points from people. So yeah, it's going to be a game changer. We can't wait. We are so excited because genuinely you will get to spend time and hang out with us and share resources. We will be building a resource bank of incredible stuff for you to help you and support you in that evolution into that stepping up, that next level you.
And it's like Natasha said, there'll be meditations as well that we'll be doing to help you step further into the light and bring the vision that's in your heart, in your third eye, into this 3D reality. We'll also be because we're so big on action as well, so there will be some actions for you to take each month, but not a lot. And if you decide you've got enough on your plate that month, then that's fine. But if you want to take action, we will be supporting you in how to take action in these areas to really create the life and business that you desire. Yeah. And Natasha here has put, blah, blah, blah.
If you're interested and you're curious and you want the further information as it comes over in the next week or so you can sign up, then come over and sign up to our newsletter on the Circle of Light movement. You can also follow us on Instagram, here on Facebook. Let us know, ask us questions. We love to communicate. We love to have chit chats with people. Also, what we will be doing is we will just be activating. There'll be, as you hang out with people in the like-minded community, you get activated to create a new experience for yourself. So we will be looking for people. We will be inviting people to come and talk about their area of expertise as well. So there won't be just Lucy and I, but that will be other people that you will get access to as well, which will only be happening in the membership if you join us in April.
Okay, I think that's it. So thank you so much for those that joined us live today. And if you did watch I'm losing my words. It's Friday. If you are watching on the replay, then #replay. And if you have any questions, then please just let us know. We're more than happy to answer them. And if you are interested, give us some hearts as well. If you've loved what we've talked about today, I have really enjoyed it. And we shall see you next Friday at 12 o'clock for another conversation. And come join us. Come and join us in the membership. Come and join the movement. Let's start a movement. New paradigm, baby.
Yeah, bring it on. Thanks for watching. See you next week.